All right, AMD is in a pretty interesting position right now. Let's see. AMD is in both consoles. AMD is in the new Xbox Slim that's coming out. It's in the new Xbox Scorpio that's coming out. They make GPUs and they have a new CPU coming out. And on top of that, it seems like some of the software that's being released to work with video games on PC and consoles and other platforms is really benefiting AMD's hardware more so than Nvidia's in terms of gains and performance. Now, AMD is poised to make a huge comeback, man. Maybe not necessarily in mind share, but at least in respect in terms of gaming. Man, I'm looking at the videos of what the Vulkan performance does on AMD's hardware, especially, well, Doom I guess is the only one they released it for as far as I know, and the performance gains are ridiculous. And then previously we already know that DirectX 12 was performing, well, was giving AMD a huge boost on AMD's hardware. Now we can take AMD and let's pair them with, let's say, Microsoft. This would be a huge thing, man, if Microsoft and AMD were to team up and start doing things together in gaming, because this would be a big thing. They already, let's see, you got the Xbox One Scorpio. I'm pretty sure AMD is behind the hardware of it, and then Microsoft is the software that runs on PC, and then you got the AMD hardware for that. Also, but you also got Nvidia. But it seems that Microsoft may be working more closely with AMD. So it stands. I mean, well, to me it seems like AMD, man, can make a possible huge turnaround and comeback in terms of mind share. You know, in terms of stock, anything that can be related to AMD can seemingly go up, even hate. Because you know, people that's probably fanboys of Nvidia's hardware are not gonna like that AMD is on the come up. Now, me myself, I do use an Nvidia GPU, but I mean, I don't necessarily just use it for the power. The software side of Nvidia stuff is just superior to AMD's. Now, I've had a computer with AMD hardware in it before, and I just was not impressed by it, not at all. And it's just mainly software, man. It was at that time a pain to deal with. I haven't gone back to deal with it any time recently. But the point being is, Microsoft and AMD, man, can really do a whole lot for the gaming industry, and you know, in turn, they can really turn things to 11 right now. You know, with them both teaming up on this hardware and software, man, they can do a whole lot, because AMD really needs some killer software, man. They do. Nvidia is kicking their butt in the software side, especially talking about just drivers. I mean, Nvidia does a wonderful job. Microsoft can probably help them out in that category, you know. And then the hardware side, AMD seems to make better, well, not necessarily initially better, but longer lasting hardware in terms of GPUs than Nvidia does. I can't say too much about their CPU side because it ain't really been that much good news on that front. Maybe that can be turned around with the release of this new CPU Zen that's coming out. But they're both companies, AMD and Microsoft, man, can do a whole lot for gaming as of right now. It's just something to think about, and maybe that you should be aware of. You know what I'm saying? You can look it up and yourself, look at all the videos and look up, Google the information and whatnot. But I'm just bringing it to everyone's attention, you know, and that's pretty much it. Thanks, man. We can have a discussion, man. Please comment, subscribe, and all of that. And I'm out.